Welcome to the second episode of the Currently in the Culture on Air podcast. I'm L'Oréal Luchi, and this is where we get into everything moving the culture, the latest news, music, gossip. I got you, keeping your city hot wherever you're tapped in. So let's get it. Today's topics are: will 50 Cent respond to being dissed by Fab? Chrisean Rock removes her Blueface tattoos and steps into a new career. And we're asking the culture, post-prison, is it harder for artists to come back and make hits? Let's get right into it. Pooh Shiesty, he's our music spotlight today. Now, he came home in October after serving about 3 years in federal prison. Earlier this month, he dropped FDO, First Day Out. That's his first record since Getting Out, and he is reclaiming that throne. FDO went #1 on the Billboard R&B hip hop chart, which is a first for him. It beat his previous best chart run with his major hit, Back in Blood. That landed at #6. So huge congratulations to Pooh Shiesty on that. And to me, this just isn't like a comeback record. This is more like a statement. Now, during a discussion with XXL about FDO, Pooh Shiesty said he had to do it because it's the quote-unquote I'm back type of vibe. Now, while speaking on the thought process, he basically said while he was locked up, he understood the idea of a coming home record, but he hadn't actually lived it yet. And because of that, he couldn't fully finish the song and came out perfect to him, right? Now, this brings me to today's culture question. Post-prison, is it harder for artists to come back and make real hits, or does hip-hop loyalty still show up when the music is authentic? Because we've seen this play out differently, right? You got Young Thug, culturally respected, influential. Some consider him a legend, but musically, the return didn't hit the way people expected with UI Scuddy. Then you got someone like Max B, who just dropped his first album, Public Domain 7, since coming home. No crazy chart headlines yet, but the support is there. A lot of love in the streets. I feel like the culture, we're just happy that he's home. I really missed his energy. I think with those leaked jail phone calls and the Gunna drama just overshadowed everything, on top of the way he dropped UI Scuddy, right? Just wasn't well received in the culture. Then you got Pooh Shiesty, who comes home and drops FDO, and the fans immediately tap in. So maybe the real question isn't even about prison. Maybe it's about like timing, sound, and whether the artists, did they stay true to who the fans fell in love with in the first place? Let me know y'all thoughts. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right, let's get into the culture news. We're definitely going to get into that Let's Rap About It Squatters freestyle diss. But first, I got to give a huge congratulations to Carl Anthony Towns and Jordan Woods. They're officially engaged, locking it in after 5 years together. And Ali Choppa, he popped the question to the mother of his child, Marissa Dene, and she said yes. Now, Ali Choppa shared the moment online, and he says, quote, "Now that's gangsta," and I could not agree more. Like Black is saying, love is the new gangsta. Sidebar, if you don't know, that is Black's new R&B album coming sometime next year, and I'm very hyped for that. Now, on the other side of the culture this week, I'm just excited about this diss that Fabolous put out at 50 Cent. It all went down on Christmas Day when Fabolous, Jim Jones, Mano, and Dave East, they all co-host the Let's Rap About It podcast. They decided to shake things up by responding to 50 Cent's trolling with straight bars over his own instrumentals. Now that's gangsta. That is gangsta. Here's how this whole thing blew up. Earlier this month, 50 Cent started clapping back at the podcast crew after they criticized his Diddy documentary. Now, they were calling it more like a mockumentary rather than a documentary, right? Obviously, that got 50 Cent tight. Now, 50 Cent responded. He shared what he said was a voicemail from their podcast space landlord about alleged unpaid rent, calling Mano, Jim, Dave, and Fab squatters online. So on Christmas Day, they dropped the freestyle. Now, Fab's verse got everyone talking. I put the link for the entire freestyle if you haven't seen it already in the description, so you could all check it out. But I just want to talk about Fab's verse because the culture is going crazy. Now, he opens the bars with, "I'm a top shotter who drop dollars and pop collars. If you ain't talking about top dollar, do not holla." So first off, a half of a dollar is 50 Cent. That's the obvious setup, right? Then Fab says, "Niggas can't move us, but nah, we not squatters." Now, that's a slick line. He basically saying, you can't push us out, but don't get it twisted. We're not freeloading either. Then he goes on to say, "They mad because we fly and niggas can't swat us." Another flex, another jab. This one's really at DJ Academics, who made fun of, how Fab dresses and his age and things like that. But we all know Fab is really fly out here. If you know, you know. Then comes that window shopping line. Them window shoppers ain't really gonna cop nada. Now, that's a clear poke at 50 Cent song, Window Shopper. Obviously, Fab is flipping 50 Cent's own title back at him. Then also, oh my God, this one was crazy. So Fab also raps, You know I got power, your shorty got hot shower. That line is a lot. Now, he's referencing 50 Cent Star's show, Power, obviously, but he's also alluding to the allegations involving 50's former partner, Delphine Joy, obviously tied to Diddy's alleged urination fetish. So overall, this feels like a fun diss. Nothing, like, not a serious back and forth. Shouldn't, lead to anything violent or anything like that. It's sharp, it's witty, and very Fab. We haven't heard something like this from Fab in a minute. So very, very exciting. Now, will 50 Cent respond? I don't know. I doubt it. If he does, it probably won't be musically. We all know he's evolved, past rap beef and, putting out music and things like that. He's fully into his TV and film space. So if anything, I feel like if he does respond, it will be, some type of commentary on social media. So I'll definitely keep y'all posted. Moving on, Chrisean Rock, she is ready for a new life. She finally removed her Blueface tattoos, and it seems like she's getting back into what she's really good at, being an athlete. Now, before all this Blueface drama, she used to do track, and now she's currently reportedly training to become a boxer. She's been seen at the boxing gym, training outdoors with her baby on what looks like a mountain trail. So good for her. Now that's gangsta. I could actually see Chrisean Rock and Clarissa Shields doing a match whenever Chrisean is ready. How do y'all feel about that? Let me know in the comments. Quick reminder before we get out of here, Chrisean Rock recently spoke on stepping back from the streaming world for his mental, not out of depression, but out of self-awareness. So it's always a good idea to protect your mind as much as your emotion. Sending love and light to anyone on that journey. Please like, share, and subscribe. A new episode drops next week.